My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about minimum effort versus going above and beyond. That's right. Really, really important conversation on work ethic, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're trying to build something or move into a new phase in your career like I am. I'm expanding into a new phase of my career with all the programs and the courses and the classes I'm rolling out, which, by the way, if you haven't registered for my Influencer Masterclass, that's happening on February 27th through March 1st. Don't wait. You can still register. It's still open at ronniecruz.com/masterclass. Register now. Even if you can't make the days and the times, you can still get access to the replay, but you have to register. Everything you wanted to know about being an influencer, about what it means to be a content creator, right? And how that can potentially set you up for a lot of advantages, down the road. As I've said this before, in past episodes, I am a real advocate that people at least seriously consider becoming content creators, because it's an amazing wide open frontier. And so much opportunity out there. Anyways, that's happening February 27th through March 1st, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register at ronniecruz.com/masterclass to go to the live event. It's virtual, but to attend the live event or get access to the replay. Okay, so that's it. Going above and beyond versus minimum effort. This has been on my mind because of two fast food chains that are here in my local town. And this is a kind of a funny story, but it shows you the stark difference, at least in my observation and opinion, the stark difference between the two mindsets that we're talking about, right? The minimum effort mindset and the going above and beyond mindset. In a spot in town, there's two franchises that are literally right next to each other. It's a Five Guys, which is a burger joint, pretty good burgers, right? You know, a little bit a step up from most of your fast food kind of joints. And then you have Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A. Like, if you don't like Chick-fil-A, I don't know what's wrong with you. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't like Chick-fil-A. It's just that it's delicious. I think unilaterally everybody believes that Chick-fil-A is delicious. Anywho's, these two establishments are literally, they're right beside each other. They're in the same parking lot, right across each other right across the street from each other, basically. When you step into these two establishments, you will notice a difference immediately in the type of culture with the employees. In Five Guys, it's very casually paced, right? Like, they're not in a hurry to do anything. And I know that, part of Five Guys thing is that they have higher quality, food, higher quality burgers. So it's not like one of those like instant, it just comes out, right? But there is also a very kind of just there attitude about the employees. There's no urgency in their actions, right? They're not in a rush to make sure that they provide you service. A lot of times I've watched people just stand there waiting for 15 to 20 minutes for their order, and their orders aren't really that complicated, right? Like with any franchise, everything is systematized. So yeah. And any time that I've been there to pick up food, it's never been like, I've never been happy. I've always been like, by the end of it, like, come on, give me my food. You guys in the back there, or the employees, I see you guys talking and having conversations. And again, there's no urgency. And so I never leave happy. Even if the food is good and it's well prepared, et cetera, et cetera. I never leave happy because of the casualness of the culture of the employees, right? Like, again, like I didn't come in here to wait 20 minutes for my food. You step into the Chick-fil-A, again, this is right across the parking lot, and it's a well-oiled machine, right? Like, they are humming and they are moving, they're cranking out orders. And it's not that they're grinding, it's not that it's like this frantic panic in the store. They're just a well-run machine. And on top of that, they're providing service with a smile. Like, they all have great attitudes. And as a result, you'll see the parking lot and the drive-through around the Chick-fil-A, and it's just like full all the time, and it's the wait isn't even that long. Now, both of those chains and both of those locations obviously are very successful. I mean, they're still there. So there's something to be said about that. However, for me, it speaks large, like it speaks volumes to the different cultures, right? Like I think, and here's another thing, both establishments employ, at least in these locations, they employ young adults, right? Teenagers, either in late high school or early college. They're very very young, young individuals, and like, so you would think that the because of the demographic in terms of age, that they would have very similar kind of work ethics, but no, it's completely different. It's just the culture, of these companies, and maybe it's of these particular establishments. To me, it speaks to just doing the minimum amount of effort versus going above and beyond, and being proud and happy and enthusiastic to do not just a good job, not just a this is okay. I meet the compulsory, I think is the word. Anyways, I'm just meeting the minimum requirement to get by. I'm actually giving you above and beyond service, and I'm doing it with a smile. I happily do it because it's a reflection of who I am. I mean, that's kind of how I always operated. So this is an important distinction, I think. And again, it's not to speak to the different, I mean, it's not even like a conversation about generations having more work ethic. It's not even a conversation about the individuals in these stores. I mean, maybe they have great work ethic, outside of outside of these establishment at work. However, like, I think there can be a tendency to do the minimum, the minimum amount that you're getting paid for. I've heard this conversation a lot, about at least being an employee in the U.S., right? Like, the employer is only paying you, the most or the least it can, to keep you there, right? And the mindset of employees is they're just doing the amount of work, enough work, just enough work to not get fired, right? So everybody's got this kind of like minimum effort, minimum pay mindset. And I think that's just so crazy. Now, again, that's a generalization, and I've only heard people talk about things from their perspective. I haven't done any empirical research, but again, like, and then you have establishments like Chick-fil-A that are just churning and are providing an excellent service, excellent time, and the quality of not just the food, but the service is very high. As entrepreneurs, as business people, as people who are stepping into, yeah, doing something beyond what you're currently doing, you have to have a going above and beyond mindset, right? Right? Because if you're just doing minimum, you're never going to get any traction into creating the outcomes that you want to create in your new venture, in your business, in your content creation, in becoming an influencer, whatever conversation we're talking about. Like, you have to be willing to break out of, well, because to create something new requires extra effort, right? You have to put in extra effort in order, because you're creating momentum in a new direction. Like myself, right? Like, I talked about that earlier. I'm expanding in a big way this year into rolling out these courses, rolling out these master classes, rolling out personal coaching, writing books. So I'm going to be very much in a little bit of an imbalance this year because I'm working to create momentum in a new direction. And so I have to go above and beyond what my own personal status quo is. Otherwise, I'm always going to have the status quo results, right? And so, like, again, this is not a dig on the employees at Five Guys. I'm sure they're great, but like, whatever it is culturally that they've established over there, like, the mindset that it's programming into these kids is that it's okay to just do the minimum effort, right? Because, like, I've always believed how you do one thing is how you do everything. And whether or not, for me, I was a top earner in my company, I am, yeah, or I was still sweeping floors and popping popcorn for minimum wage at the movie theater, I was always providing, going above and beyond, and doing the best I can, because I would not feel I just, like, I feel better about myself if I'm giving you everything that I can give you, with these particular circumstances. I'm not just going to sit here and coast and do the minimum effort, because that reflects on me, right? Right. So you just got to really program that with your own mindset, because again, as you take these steps into your entrepreneurial venture, you're gonna have to go above and beyond, right? You're going to have to do extra on top of your existing status quo, because that's the only way you're going to start tipping the scales and moving the needle towards your dreams and your goals, right? And this isn't a conversation about like hustle culture. You got to grind, grind, grind. Of course, no. Like that's a great way to burn out and end up abandoning your dreams altogether. What I'm talking about is just the willingness just the willingness to perform at a higher level, the willingness to go above and beyond, and just to have the mindset and the attitude of excellence, right? All right, because if you're just providing minimum effort, that's not excellence at all. You're way more capable of minimum effort. And so I would encourage you to show up in everything that you do, as a matter of fact, in your day job, because you still have to have your day job while you're building your side hustle, right? Show up at a high level, of excellence, and go above and beyond. And that's just gonna program you with the right mindset to succeed in everything else that you do, right? Minimum effort versus going above and beyond. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Just go above and beyond. It's as simple as that. And do that in everything that you do. Do that in everything that you do. So that's the conversation I wanted to leave with you today. Hope that makes sense. And if not, well, there's more tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow with a fresh new episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.